Blog Talk Radio.
The following ingredients include a look behind the scenes. Cook uncovered until hot. Add grooves to taste.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. The 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. I was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think he may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radio, live from Wilton Manors, Florida, with your host, Mark Angelo Cummings.
And your hostess, Jessica Lynn Cummings.
Show for trans folks, by trans folks, here to let your voice be heard. Well, good evening and welcome to Transition Radio. It's Tuesday night, Trans Night, and we're so happy that all of you are able to join us tonight. Tonight we have Carol Lynne Smith, who's an author and an inspirational speaker. She enjoys reading to gain knowledge and uses television and karaoke as means for entertainment. She enjoys listening to music and recently started singing as a hobby. She says, I am a full-time student, a wife, and a mom. I enjoy spending time in nature and communicating with God.
But before we bring her on, we would like to thank our sponsors, thebreastformstore.com. They have everything you could possibly need for your cross-dressing and transgender needs.
And also Dr. Barton Matirosian, a facial feminization surgeon in Jupiter, Florida. Please give him a call today at 561-624-0900. 561-624-0900. Dr. Matirosian is highly qualified and very understanding of our needs.
Now, please welcome to our show, the lovely Carol Lynne Smith. Hi, Carol.
Hi there. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you, sweetie?
I'm doing wonderful. Hi, Mark and Jessica.
Hello. So glad to have you on the show and spread some of your wonderful light energy to our listeners. And you're always such a pleasure to be around.
It's so awesome to be invited. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We're honored to have you.
So let me ask you, what are your passions and how did you discover the ability to motivate? Because motivating is something that is so important. A lot of people lack motivation. Give us a little bit of insight.
Well, I am passionate about inspiring other people to be more fulfilled and to live a life in a way that they are beneficial to others. I like to encourage people to live more thoroughly and more passionately and to be able to enjoy every moment of this short existence.
Yes, definitely.
You only live once.
Exactly. But why do you think people are lacking this motivational skill, this passion for living and doing things? Well, why do you think that is? Because to motivate, you kind of have to know these components.
Well, I tell you what I've discovered recently. People really just want other people to believe in them. Does that make any sense? We tend to open up to people, and we find that they shut us down. And I like to keep my ears open. I like to keep my heart open whenever I have an opportunity, whenever someone comes to me and tries to express themselves. I try to find a way to connect with them on a level where I can reach them and where they want to be reached. And so I find that has been beneficial for me, and whenever I have the opportunity to speak to someone and to find a way to add some light, I try to do that.
And I also find that people have this thing that they're not worthy. So by bringing up their positive traits instead of just focusing on the negative, I think that actually helps. What do you think about that statement?
I agree. You know, I used to find this little saying so cliche, where I know I'm somebody because God don't make no junk. I used to find that so cliche until I really got to understand what that means. I believe that we all serve a purpose. I believe that we're all here for a purpose. I believe that God designed us very intricately for a purpose, and I don't ever want anyone to underestimate their value. And I believe that we tend to do that. If we have not found our purpose or we've been placed in a hole by society, we tend to allow our light to dim. And I like to kind of reignite that whenever I can.
That's awesome.
And you're very good at doing that. Carol, you're an author. Tell everyone a little bit about your books.
Well, I've written 4 books so far. I've been my first book published in 2010, and my last couple of books published 2012, 2013. And I write about I write inspirational things. My first book is called The Journey to Peace: A Woman's Guide to Finding Inner Peace. And the interesting thing about that book is I had more men purchase that book than women. My publisher cautioned me not to subtitle it A Woman's Guide to Finding Inner Peace, and I didn't listen because it's a book that everybody can benefit from. And then my second book is called The Journey Within: Uncovering and Discovering a Life of Peace and Authenticity. And then my third book is Bold and Brazen: The Journey from Fear to Faith. And then I did a journal called Fuel for the Journey, and it's 60 days of reflection, reevaluation, and renewal. And basically what this little book does is it kind of incorporates all of the thoughts in the other 3 books, and it's sort of a little fuel. It's just like the book is titled, to kind of keep you motivated on your journey.
That's so.
You mentioned the first book that you wrote was basically for women, but men bought the book as well. That's very interesting because I believe that as you got a nice little birdie in the background I hear. I believe that we are evolving as a species, and I think men are trying to be more in touch with their female side, and women are trying to be more in touch with their male side, so we can get more of a balance within the yin and the yang. So it's very interesting when you mention that. Yes, it's almost like a shift that's taking place in our planet,
and it could be
and we need that.
Yeah, definitely.
And it could be that a lot more men are trying to understand women better nowadays.
But that's also because they're trying to get in touch with their feminine side. It's a major... Go ahead.
I tell you what, this book is not designed, and I'm so glad that you said that, because this book is not designed for men to understand women. It's designed to understand yourself. And I make that perfectly clear. Whatever a man's buying my book, this book is not going to help you understand a woman. This book is going to help you understand yourself. So it's very interesting that you said that we're all trying to get in touch with the other side of things. If you're a woman, trying to get in contact with our masculine side. If you're a man, trying to get in touch with your feminine side. I think that balance is much needed in the society. And this book is very helpful for that.
It's part of the healing that's taking place in our planet. And very subtle it's happening, and more people are becoming in tune with both their energies, because that's what we are, energy. And there's 2 types of energy. You've got the masculine and you've got the feminine. It's like the positive and the negative polarity. And it's very much in need of this balance, and we're seeing this major shift in our universe. So that's very interesting. Let me ask you, Carol, what inspires you to write?
I am inspired by God's creation. And what I mean by that is anything that God created inspires me, whether it be people, whether it be animals, whether it be nature. The resilience of people inspires me. The way people have the ability to love, like to truly love another person, the way that people are true to their friendships, the way that people just love on each other and encourage each other, that inspires me. And I'm inspired by nature. I have written in my books about the sun, and I've been inspired to write while flying, flying above the clouds, and the clarity that I received and the peace that I received and the way that God spoke to me about something so divine and so human while flying. I was inspired by clouds. I'm inspired by water. I'm inspired by trees. I have been known to make my wife stop driving so I could take a picture of a tree that I thought was interesting. So I'm inspired by anything that God created. Glaciers in Alaska. I've been in Alaska a few times. Inspired by that. It's amazing. The canyons. Anything that God has put his hands on inspires me.
Yes, and nature is very inspiring in a lot of ways for a lot of different things. Artists, writers, musicians, you name it. Nature has motivated and inspired so many people to be creative.
Well, the reason that is because we are all one. Everything in, whether it's a tree, an animal, a lizard, anything, it's connected, and we're all made up of the same material.
But we're gaining inspiration from a creation.
Yes, exactly.
And to create our own.
Yeah, listening to the voices of the ancient, which are all part of everything. Like the movie Avatar. You watched that movie, I'm sure, Carol. Avatar?
Yes. Because of the lead actress, mostly. Mostly because of the lead actress.
There you go.
But you know
love
what?
that
You know what?
movie.
Oh yeah. But you know what's interesting about nature? And if you think about it, if I'm a Christian, and gay people can be Christians. God created all of us. And you know, if you read the very beginning of the Bible, God did not design us to live in concrete buildings. We were supposed to live in a garden. We were supposed to live and commune in nature. And so there's a reason why we are inspired in nature. There's a reason why we feel more connected when we're in natural environments, because we were designed to live in a garden. We were designed to live in nature. We were designed to live among the animals and among the birds and among the trees, and to eat from the trees and to eat from the ground. We were not designed to live in concrete buildings.
Exactly. But unfortunately, the greed of man has taken that all away and turned it all around and wants to put four walls around us so we can lose that connection with nature.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's even the stuff that we're eating, the fluoride in our water, which is closing our pineal gland, which is something that God gave us to be able to have vision and see things and be connected fully. So we have to return back to nature. That's one of the reasons we're getting rid of everything and going on the RV and just living off campgrounds and out in the middle of nowhere.
We're going to be living on nature.
Yeah. Be fully connected. I
am so excited that you two are doing that. I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss you two being here, but I am so excited that you're doing that.
Definitely.
We can't wait. We're hyped. So besides writing and motivating individuals, what do you enjoy doing in your spare time?
I like going to karaoke. I was just talking to a few friends of mine, and I was saying how I could live anywhere as long as there was a karaoke bar and a beach and a regular bar. You know, so I like singing karaoke. I like going to the bookstore. I find that I could go to a bookstore and just stay there all day. And I like spending time with my wife. And it's kind of crazy because I enjoy her so much because she's so much fun. And so it doesn't matter if we're sitting in a bar or sitting in a church or sitting, you know, at a friend's house. If I'm with her, I'm having a great time. So those are the things that I enjoy doing. You know, I love being around my friends. You know, the small little crew that I can say are my friends. I enjoy that. So if there are people involved, and you know, if I got a few books handy and there's a karaoke machine somewhere nearby, I'm good to go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you're in school now, and what exactly is it that you're studying?
Well, I'm finishing my degree right now in public safety management. I only have 7 more classes to go before I get that degree, so I'm really enjoying that. And I really do enjoy being in school. I'm 44 years old, and being in school makes me feel young again. I feel 20 years younger, you know what I mean? Like getting back into the books and being there. And I used to teach school for many years, and now I'm being taught, and it just gives me a different perspective. So I'm really enjoying that.
When the teacher becomes the student, I like it.
But it is very, very stimulating to be able to be in a classroom environment at an age where you could actually appreciate it. I didn't go to college till later in life, like 24, 25. And I think if I would have gone directly from high school, I would not have enjoyed it. As you get older and mature, you're able to take in the information and really appreciate it.
I agree.
It's a great thing.
I agree.
So, Carol, what messages do you have for our LGBT community? Well, LGBTQA now.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a QA? What is that?
That's a new one. Gender queer and allies.
Oh, we've added some letters. Are we going to also add some colors of the rainbow?
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. I'm going to need a new shirt. I'm going to need a new card because my card doesn't have enough letters on it. There's a few things. There's a few things. I believe that we need to get involved in aspects of our community that are beneficial to others. It's great living in a community where you can go to a bar and get cheap beer. That's great. It's a lot of fun. But I think that we need to get involved in our community in a way that's beneficial. And, I live in the city of Wilton Manors, which is not a predominantly gay community. There are more heteros than homos in the community, but the area is highly concentrated with the LGBT community. And this is the area where our Pride Center is housed and our Stonewall Festival is housed and things like that. And I volunteer for the city, and I believe there's a lot of volunteer positions available within the city of Wilton Manors. I serve as the vice chairman of the Community Affairs Advisory Board, and I also am a part of Black Gay Pride South Florida, which is housed at the Pride Center. But I just believe that there's so many things, so many opportunities, and if you live in the Wilton Manors area, then we have SunServe, and we have the Stonewall Library and Museum, and there's so many boards. And like I said, there's volunteer positions available within the city. And if you live in another community outside of Florida, I know that a lot of your listeners do, get involved in your community. Get involved doing something that's going to be beneficial. And the other thing that I want to say, and this has been something that has been very hurtful, for me, we need to be kinder to each other. We discriminate so much outside of our community, and then we find it within our community. Gay men, if you're an older gay man, the younger men look at you with their nose turned up. If you're a lesbian, the men don't like you. If you're transgendered, nobody likes you. And sometimes you don't even like each other, there's so much fighting within there's so much fighting, within our, I go to a bar and the women have their nose turned up at each other. We have got to start embracing each other. We are catching it outside of our community. We should find solace within our community. So I believe that's my message. That's my message.
Yeah.
To come together to do something beneficial. Exactly.
Great message. Like you were saying about the whole transgender thing, because in the transgender community, I think a lot of it's like a competition. Oh, this one's more passable, this one's not. This person's a cross-dresser, it's like, come on, we're all...
Oh, I heard more than you heard.
Yeah.
Back and forth. It's like, but, I think the general message here is, let's forget just the LGBTQRSTUV community. Let's look at humanity. Humanity
right,
in general.
Exactly.
We need to put all these labels aside. We need to forget the things that divide us, the barriers, the walls, whether it's religion, whether it's color, whether it's sexual preference, whether it's what car you drive. We need to break all these barriers down and realize that the day we die, we all bleed, and we're all either put in a box or we're cremated. We're all here to be one, to learn from each other and grow as spirit beings.
I agree with you 100%.
Exactly.
I agree with you 100%.
Mother Nature did not create these labels. It was man, and man created these labels to separate, and divide, and conquer.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
that's
we're
exactly what's
feeding right
happening.
into it. Yep, and we're feeding right into it.
We're being brainwashed.
Totally I am African American, so I live within that community as well. And what I found from because I've been African American for 44 years, I've only been an out lesbian for probably the last 8 years. And so what I found is that when people can get a species of people to start attacking themselves, then they don't have to do it. Their work becomes easier. And so when we can maneuver things so where we can start making people kill within their own community, and I don't just mean physically killing, you can kill somebody's spirit. When we can start getting a species to kill within their own species, then we don't have to do as much. So I believe that we need to be able to recognize that the enemy is not within our community, it's outside of it, and we need to start embracing each other, surrounding each other, having each other's back. We need to start doing that, and if we don't do that, there won't be anybody else to come to our rescue. We're gonna all die out.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what they do. That whole saying, "Divide and they shall conquer." If they keep us in turmoil, they keep us separated. Then they're able to continue with their evil agenda, because there is an agenda, and people try to say, well, who's they? If you look from the beginning of history, there's always been people of power controlling, enslaving all of us, because just because we're not in prison doesn't mean that we're free. There's a lot of things that people don't realize that is taking place in this world right now, and there were major slaves.
The elite.
Yeah, the elite. And if we kill each other, hey, they're just standing back going, yeah, let's get rid of them. They want to get rid of what I've heard is like 90% of the population. Well, we're doing it to each other. They won't have to do anything at the rate we're going.
Exactly.
So, let me ask you, any new projects in the works?
Yeah, I have a few things going on right now. My dad passed away in 2012, and he left behind some things that he had been writing for years. And he talked about, he toyed around with publishing them, and he even spoke to my publisher at one point. He never did anything with it, but he did leave me this vast folder with all his writings in it. So I've been working on, it's been hard because I end up missing him so much in the process of reading. But I've been in the process of editing that because I want to publish his book. And then I'm working on a book right now for a young man who has some struggles, and he has a very powerful message. And I'm working on, his name is Brent Ellis, and I'm working on his story right now. And I'm always writing. You know, I never know I'm writing a book until I start writing it. But I keep these little notes, and the next thing I know, those little notes turn into a book. You know, and then that one book turns into 4 books. So I'm always working on something.
Well, you can always come up with a new book called When the Teacher Becomes a Student.
There you go.
I like that idea. I would love to document. I would like to document you two's journey. So you never know.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes. Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
So anything else you wanted to add?
No, it's just been a pleasure. I think that I do want to add something. I think what the two of you do within the community is so amazing. I love your story. I love the connection that you two have. I think it's so unique, and it was such an honor to meet the two of you, especially through another friend who I absolutely love, my sister Rajay. And I just think that it's so great. I think that you two have to continue being the voice within this community. I think you have the ear of the community, and I just think that what you do is marvelous. I just do it, and I'm encouraged by what you do, and I think your listeners are as well.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Carol.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Yes, we love you, honey. And we got to get together before we leave.
Yes.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way.
All righty.
Absolutely. You have a good night, sweetie, and give the wife a hug for us.
Yes. Thank you.
Absolutely, I will. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Well, that was a pleasure. She's a wonderful person.
Yes, she is.
We have sunshine. And then we're going to go in the trans news. Gaystar News. Proposed law in California would ensure transgender people die as they lived. Respect After Death Act calls the authentic, if I could turn this page, okay, oops, now it turned out too much, authentic gender identity to be reflected on death certificate. California Assembly Majority Leader Tony Atkins introduced a bill on Thursday, January 30th, that would ensure the authentic gender identity of a transgender person be reflected on their death certificate. If passed into law, the Respect After Death Act would require that the authority responsible for completing the transgender person's death certificate adhere to documentation of their gender identity, such as an update birth certificate or driver's license.
Once we are deceased, we are often at the mercy of others to treat us with dignity, said Atkins, a lesbian who also authored the historic School Success and Opportunity Act for transgender people. Their gender identity may not be consistently recognized after death by family, friends, and even officials, said Atkins. This bill provides an objective way to make sure that a transgender person's gender will be correctly identified after they pass on.
In addition to a birth certificate or driver license, other documentation could include written instructions from the deceased person confirming their wishes or evidence of medical treatment for gender transition. Transgender people face horrific rates of discrimination and violence, said Mason Davis, an executive director of Transgender Law Center, which is co-sponsoring the bill along with Equality California.
The very least we can do is ensure folks are given basic human dignity by honoring their authentic selves when they pass.
Yes. That's a good bill and a good law. I personally,
Absolutely.
when I die, I'm not going to be around. I'm going to be in either my next body or playing the harp somewhere up in heaven. But
Well, the whole point is hopefully that there's something left behind that marks you as your authentic self.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what marks us as our authentic self, I believe, is the actions, the way we live our lives. That's the legacy we leave behind. And most people say, this man, whatever, this person did this, that, and the other. And, I mean, I'm a true believer that we need to break down the gender walls. You know, we need to break down labels. And gender is part of behind it, exactly. But, you know,
everybody ringing in my ear.
That's probably my phone, even though I turned it off. It's probably reminding me of an email, and even though I have it on no vibrate and no voice. I know, it's crazy. Anyway, next Tuesday we have Mikhail Hatcher, and he's been in the news. He's an activist and an FTM, so we're looking forward to having him on the show. And this Thursday, Marlo Bernier. You guys are going to love her. An amazing filmmaker, actress, actor, producer, you name it. And she likes to bowl. We're going to talk about her bowling skills. So stay tuned for that, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Gay Live TV. And let's see how much time we have here, because that was, I only still have like 3 more minutes. So what else could we talk about? The birds and the bees. Anyway, we're looking for sponsors. Yeah, we can thank our sponsors. You know, I'm starting to talk like from Georgia. Sponsors, the Breast Forum Store and Dr. Motivational. Yes. I love that name, even though it's difficult as it is to pronounce. It's got this yummy sound to it. I don't know. It's nice. He's an amazing surgeon, and we definitely think that those of you that are considering facial feminization surgery should check him out. He's a man to fix you up.
Absolutely, and we want to thank Carol.
Yeah, Carol and
all our past guests.
And all our past guests, and thank who else do I think?
Get on the road very soon. So follow our transgender highway maps.
Yes. Well, guys, I guess we're going to go ahead and cut it short anyway. It's 2 minutes and something remaining. We really don't have much more to say, except that let's unite. Let's forget about our differences and take a look at our sameness. Let's love one another, because through love, we heal. And through healing, we forgive. And through forgiving, we evolve as spirit beings. I believe we have been placed here on this planet for a reason, not just to be born, have babies, get a 9-to-5 job, pay off your student loan, and collect as much stuff as we can to then die, and you can't take it with you when you go. There's something bigger to all this madness. There's something bigger. I believe that our Creator didn't just create us just for the heck of it. There is something way bigger and way deeper that most of us fail to realize. I don't care what religion you are. I'm not into religion, domination, whatever else. It's a spiritual thing. Listen to your hearts.
Domination? It's denomination.
Denomination, whatever. Listen to your hearts. Or domination. Actually, that's what I meant. Dominating one another with control.
Okay.
So that's what I meant. Stop interrupting me and throwing me. Be proud of who you are. Love yourself. Love the person next to you. Love your neighbor. Love everyone, because through love, we would heal. Anything else you wanted to add?
Yes. Wasn't that a Beatles song?
All you need is love. Dun, dun, dun. All you need is love. Love is all you need. And that's right. It's true. Love is all you need.
Yeah.
All right,
absolutely.
Guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We love you.
We love you.
But remember to always love yourselves too. Good night, folks.